The weight of what remains undone. I am my own quietest cage. It is 2:14 a.m. The cursor on the laptop screen is blinking with a steady, rhythmic indifference, a tiny digital heartbeat that feels more alive than I do. Beside it, an empty coffee mug sits on a coaster, its bottom leaving a damp, circular ring on the mahogany desk, a small, messy testament to a night spent doing absolutely nothing of consequence. I was supposed to start the project. The one that actually matters. The one that, if I'm honest, terrifies me because it feels like a mirror I'm not ready to look into. But instead, I spent 3 hours rearranging the files on my desktop into color-coded folders. Then, I watched a documentary about the migration patterns of Arctic terns. Then, I spent 20 minutes scrolling through the comment section of a video about a recipe I will never cook. My brain is a master of this theater. It creates a frantic, high-stakes atmosphere of busy, while the thing that actually needs to be done, the thing that sits in the center of my chest like a heavy, cold stone, remains untouched. I am exhausted. Not from work, but from the immense, intricate labor of avoiding my own life. There is a specific kind of violence in how we talk to ourselves at these hours. It isn't a loud, shouting cruelty. It is a cold, precise interrogation. Why can't you just do it? Why are you like this? It's the feeling of watching someone else hold the steering wheel of your life, knowing it's you, but feeling completely paralyzed by the sight of them driving toward a cliff. I look at the work I haven't done and I feel a profound sense of failure, not because I am incapable, but because I am so clearly sabotaging the version of myself I promised I would become. I think the reason I avoid it isn't laziness. Laziness feels heavy and lethargic. This is different. This is a frantic, anxious twitching, a desperate need to keep the important work at a distance. If I don't start, I can't fail. If I don't try, the potential remains perfect, preserved in the amber of my imagination. As long as I am just thinking about it, I am still the person who could do great things. The moment I start, I am merely the person who did them, and the result might be mediocre. I'd rather hate myself for not starting than risk the heartbreak of trying and finding out I'm not as capable as I pretend to be. The room is silent now. The hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen has become the soundtrack of my failure. I catch my reflection in the darkened window. I look tired. My eyes are bloodshot, but there is no clarity behind them. I am holding on to this state of limbo because it feels safer than the uncertainty of progress. I am a professional at being about to. I am an architect of blueprints for houses I will never lay the foundation for. I remember my father once told me that the hardest part of any journey is the first step. He meant it as encouragement. He never understood that some of us aren't afraid of the step, we are afraid of the ground. We are afraid that if we put our weight down, it might not hold us. So we hover. We suspend ourselves in mid-air, convincing ourselves that the suspension is a choice, a stylistic preference, even as the gravity of our choices begins to pull at our limbs. I check my phone, unprompted. Nothing. No messages. I feel that familiar, sharp pang of being forgotten, followed immediately by the relief of not having to explain myself to anyone. If no one is watching, I can't let anyone down. Except I am watching. I am always watching. I am the harshest audience I have ever known, and I am currently sitting through the worst performance of my life. I close the laptop. The screen goes black, and for a moment, the room feels hollowed out. There is no triumph in quitting for the night, only a temporary reprieve from the guilt. Tomorrow, the sun will rise, and the project will still be there, waiting, bloated with the weight of my avoidance. I will wake up, I will feel the shame, and I will probably do it all over again. I walk to the kitchen to rinse the mug. The water is cold against my hands. It's a grounding sensation, a brief tether to the physical world when I have spent so long drifting in the abstract space of my own disappointment. I look at the sink, the pile of dishes I said I'd get to earlier, the stack of mail on the counter that hasn't been opened in 3 days. These are the small, jagged edges of my life that I keep bumping into. They are not the big, looming failure of the project, but they are the proof that I am losing my grip on the small things, too. There is no epiphany waiting for me in the dark. No sudden surge of motivation that will make the morning easier. There is only the long, quiet walk to the bedroom, the heavy realization that tomorrow is not a blank slate, but a continuation of the same tired patterns. I am tired of the person I am when I am afraid. I am tired of the way I hold my breath, waiting for a permission slip from the universe that I am enough to begin, forgetting that I am the only one who can issue it. I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, the shadows of the tree branches outside dancing against the plaster. They move with such purpose, such fluid grace, simply existing in the space they occupy. I am just lying here, a collection of intentions and delays, waiting for the sleep that feels like a surrender I haven't quite earned. The clock changes again. It's later than I thought. It's always later than I think. And the thing I am avoiding isn't the work. It's the silence that tells me I'm the only one standing in my way.